Tell me if this sounds familiar. You give, you sacrifice, you go the extra mile, and you hope just a little bit that they'll notice. But instead of appreciation, you get criticism, nitpicking, minimizing, or even worse, nothing at all. So you feel invisible, unvalued, unappreciated, maybe even unloved. Well, if that's where you're at today, let's talk about the real hidden reason why you're feeling all of this, plus 3 strategies to help you take your power back. Welcome to the Confident Christian Woman podcast, where we tackle questions about things that have been keeping you stuck in unfulfillment, dissatisfaction, or straight up misery. This is where you'll find the help you need to move forward from confusion, fear, or self-doubt into joy, fulfillment, and peace. This is where we become confident Christian women who not only believe, we obey. Now, let's dive in. Our question today is, how do I get people to appreciate all that I do? Well, I'm going to jump right in and tell you something that you may not believe yet, but hopefully you'll understand what I'm saying. You'll understand it by the end of this episode. And it's that you're not actually feeling unappreciated because of what somebody else did or didn't say. You're actually feeling unappreciated because of what you're thinking about what they did or didn't say. Okay, I know right now maybe you're going, wait, what? No, I'm not. It's definitely them. They're definitely the problem. But think about this for a second, even just this basic truth. If the source of your pain is somebody else's behavior, then it means that you're absolutely and completely powerless. I mean, I don't want to be at the mercy of everything that somebody else says or does. Like, who wants that? I don't. And I don't think you do. So let's talk about an option. Because if the source of your pain is your interpretation of their action or inaction, then it means you have choices. And you're no longer unnecessarily at somebody else's mercy, right? So let's unpack this so that you can get your power back and start feeling valued and appreciated no matter what. Go back with me in time, as we do so often here. All right, I remember a long ago holiday, like it was, over a decade now, maybe a decade and a half. Anyway, this long ago holiday where I hosted a bunch of people at my house, right? And at the end of that very long day of hosting, it was like a long day. I remember kind of just sinking into my sofa with this huge sigh of exhaustion, but also satisfaction, because there was absolutely no way that my boyfriend at the time could avoid fully and completely recognizing and appreciating all that I had done that day. And he would have to actually say so. It was like so obvious that, like he would have to appreciate all of it and say it. I had been up since 3 a.m. that morning, preparing for the guests that we had invited, a good portion of whom were his family and friends. They had come over, they had devoured the feast that I prepared, and all afternoon and long into the evening, they had just completely basked in this lovely holiday atmosphere that I created in the house. And every single one of those persons left my house singing praises about how special I had made the day for them. But it really wasn't their kudos that I was anticipating. I mean, it was nice. Like, I remember feeling at the time that it was nice that they said that. But it was really his kudos that I wanted. And in fact, I assumed that their kudos would influence him giving me his kudos. Like, if they're all singing my praises, then he couldn't possibly find fault with anything that I had done wrong that day, or anything that I had done that day, right, to say that it was wrong. Well, wrong. I was completely wrong. I was so wrong. Because the front door had barely closed behind the last guest when he started ripping apart everything I had done and said that day. I mean, like, all that I did and didn't do, all that I said and didn't say, he ripped it all apart. By the time he was done, I can tell you that satisfied and appreciated were the very last things that I felt. In fact, in the few minutes it took him to just go to town that way, the whole holiday was just completely ruined for me. Now, for me, it was in that relationship that I felt the most unappreciated I have ever felt in my entire life. But for you, it might also be a romantic relationship, or it could be a friendship, or even a professional relationship. Whatever it is, I'm gonna bet that you're thinking something like this. If I feel this way, I feel this way because of their behavior, and I'd be totally fine if they would just change. But the thing is that you're missing one step between their behavior and your feelings, which is your thoughts. Here's what actually happens when you don't realize. Like, it's so quick that you don't even realize that it's happening. I didn't. For a very long time, I didn't. I was so happy when I finally recognized it. All right, so here's what's happening. Their behavior triggers some thoughts in your head about their behavior. And then those thoughts that you're having in your head, in turn, trigger the emotions that you feel. You want me to say it again? I'm going to say it again because it may be new to you. They do something or don't do something, so they have a behavior. And their behavior triggers some thoughts in your head about their behavior. And those thoughts are what triggers the emotions that you feel. All right? So when you let's say that you are in this situation where you're feeling like people don't appreciate all that you do. So they hold back any expressions of appreciation, or they do things that make you not feel appreciated. All right? So then your thoughts are going to sound something like this. They should see how much effort I put into this and say so. You may not even realize that you're thinking that, but you're thinking that. Or your thoughts may sound something like, I don't have to do all of this. They should at least tell me thanks in return. I didn't have to do any of this. Or maybe, why can't they just for once acknowledge and appreciate me? Or it might sound something like, all they do is criticize me. I deserve better than that for all that I've done and all that I do. I definitely had this particular thought on that holiday that I told you about, when my boyfriend at the time had nothing but criticism for me. I thought that. And at various stages in our relationship, I thought all of those thoughts. That all of these thoughts that I've just shared with you. Every one of those thoughts is a rule that you have written for the person that they may not even know exists, or maybe they don't even care about it. Even if they know it exists, they may not care about it. And when they don't follow the rules and the scripts that you have written for them, you feel hurt and you feel invisible and you feel rejected. You feel unseen, unappreciated, unvalued, unloved. But those feelings didn't come from them. Those feelings didn't come from their actions. Those feelings came from the story that you have told yourself about their actions. So it turns out that your thoughts are the culprits that are making you feel unappreciated. Right? In my opinion, this is excellent news, because it means that you get to dictate the narrative. You get to dictate it, not anybody else. Quick pause. If today's episode is hitting home, I have something for you that you'll love. It's called the Clarity Roadmap, and it's a free guide that's designed to give you a quick jumpstart out of feeling stuck. Remember, you don't have to have all the answers. You only need your one next step, and this free roadmap is a great place to start. You can grab it for free right now at the link in the show notes. Okay, back to today's episode. Now, if the people or person who you want to appreciate all that you do are grown adults, it means that they're fully and completely in control of and responsible for their thoughts, their feelings, and their actions. So they get to decide exactly what they want to do, whether it's to praise you or not to praise you. And nothing that you do will change that. Of course, you can try manipulating them by doing everything under the sun to get them to give you the kudos that you want. And you can even guilt them into praising you. Of course, you can do that. But why would you want to? In my opinion, which you may disagree with, but I'm going to say it anyway, forced praise feels just as bad as no praise at all. And the thing is, since you're the one creating the feeling of not being appreciated that you're experiencing, it means that you can decide to change how you feel, whether or not the other person changes. For real. I'm not even kidding. It's for real. So let's talk about how to do that. Because I have 3 empowering moves to help you to start feeling valued in any relationship where you don't feel appreciated. It can work in any relationship, okay? So I'm going to give you the 3 moves now. Empowering move number 1 is to change your story. Now, this move starts with you noticing. You know, in the last few episodes of this podcast, noticing has been a theme. Noticing, like, waking up in your life, waking up to your thoughts, waking up to your mindset, waking up to how you think, waking up to how you view things, and beginning to question whether your view is right, aligned with God, or, you know, if you even want to keep that view. Like, waking up has been a theme. I'm just calling that out. So this first move of changing the story, it starts with you noticing and cutting out those they should and they shouldn't rules that are running through your head. You have to notice them, and then you have to start cutting them out. You have to start like dismantling them. These are the rules that are causing most of your unhappiness over people's lack of appreciation for you. The truth is, those people don't have to do anything. Not a darn thing. They don't have to do anything. So tormenting yourself with all of those shoulds and shouldn'ts is only hurting you. You're hurting yourself. When the shoulds come up, you can notice and you can change the story so that you can change the feelings about what happened. You can do that. I'm going to give you some examples. Let's say that you went all out and you did something like how I hosted that holiday, at my house. Well, the whole day, all day at my house for that holiday. Way back then, let us say, you went all out and did something like that, or whatever it is you did, and you didn't get the verbal appreciation that you so rightly deserved. Instead of the usual shoulds, right? Oh, they should have said this, they should have da. You can consciously choose your story, which can be something like, what a bummer that they just did not see how amazing a job I did. And then let yourself feel sad and disappointed that they didn't acknowledge your efforts. Okay? You can feel sad about it. Why not? You can feel disappointed, but you don't have to add this anger and misery on top of that. Just let this sadness and disappointment be pure and unadulterated. Or your story can sound something like, what an amazing day. I completely outdid myself. And then you let yourself feel pride and contentment from a job well done. Or your story can sound like, it is so cool that everybody had a great time because of my work, because of what I did. And then just let yourself feel happy for bringing joy to others. Do you see how that kind of changes everything? Yes, you may still be sad and disappointed, but you're not compounding those feelings with all this unnecessary angst and anger and misery. Okay, you just feel the true pure feelings without adulterating them, tainting them with all this other unnecessary suffering. All right, the second empowering move that I have for you is give yourself what you're craving. You keep looking to this other person or to other people to make you feel appreciated. But what are you doing to appreciate yourself? What are you doing to show appreciation to yourself? When you give yourself what you want, even appreciation, instead of waiting in vain for somebody else to give it to you, if you do end up getting it from them, then it's a nice to have instead of this constantly unmet need. In effect, when you do this, you transform their words of appreciation from meat and potato into gravy, or from main course into dessert. So how do you do this? How do you show appreciation for yourself? Well, you can start by just making a list of the ways that you want others to appreciate you, and then pick one and do it for yourself. So for example, I love letters. I've always loved letters. I love receiving letters. A written letter is just so lovely. So for example, you can write yourself a 1-page appreciation letter about just how great a job that you did and why you are so proud of yourself for pulling it off. And you can even write about how it was the best event ever in the history of events. Whatever it is that you did, like how you like appreciation expressed, you just write all of it, right? For me, it would have been about that holiday dinner. I would have just written just a beautiful letter of appreciation. So write it with all the love and appreciation for yourself, and no bitterness about what others didn't say or do in response. Just leave everybody else out of it, like who you were putting expectations on. This is about just the love and appreciation for yourself. And then put your letter of appreciation into an envelope, take it to the post office, and drop it in the mail. Post it to yourself. And then when it lands in your mailbox a few days from now, rip it open with anticipation and read it and feel appreciated and loved and valued just all over again as you read it. You'll get so much joy and love and appreciation in the writing of it, in the receiving of it, and in the reading of it. Okay, so that's the second empowering move for you. The third is do things because you want to, not to get a certain reaction. Most of your resentment right now over not feeling appreciated is coming from doing things with the hope that other people will respond to you in a certain way, but they don't do it. They don't respond, right? Colossians 3 verse 17 says, "And whatever you do, no matter what it is, in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus and in dependence upon his person, giving praise to God the Father through him." You can stop being motivated by craving somebody else's praise and approval. Instead, you can do what you choose to do in a way to glorify God. Even hosting a holiday dinner can be an act of praise and thanksgiving to God. So what if you start doing things purely because you want to, not because of the kudos that you might get when you do it? What if you do things with zero expectation of praise from somebody else? But you do it simply for the love of doing it, or simply for the love of this person because you love them so much. What if you do things in a way to as a way to glorify God instead of a way to get people to tell you how amazing you are? What if you change your approach altogether? What if you do things because you want to, not to get some specific particular reaction? Then what you end up doing is freeing yourself up to just fully enjoy whatever it is you're doing, even if nobody ever shows you any appreciation for it. Doesn't diminish your joy in it, because that wasn't why you were doing it in the first place. Now, in going through all of this, I'm not saying that you should drop your standards for people and allow just any old kind of behavior from them, okay? For example, maybe you want to be in friendships where you express your appreciation for each other. In that case, if you're in friendships, relationships where you want that, and it's not happening, then maybe you need to discuss things with the other person and share with them, what you'd like them to do. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they just don't know. All right. So I'm not encouraging you to just like drop your standards and just allow, or accept any old kind of thing. What I am encouraging you to do here is to take full responsibility for your emotional life. That's what you're doing when you stop blaming your feelings on other people and start recognizing that you have a huge role to play in this drama. A huge role. Okay? So we're talking about emotional responsibility here. All right. Well, feeling unappreciated is painful, but you don't have to keep wallowing in that pain. Instead, you can start working on your insides, in your own mind, in your own heart, which I'm telling you, from having done this work myself, it will forever change your results on the outside. The inside work that you do will change your results on the outside. And this inside out approach is the only thing that will help you to feel empowered as you take full responsibility for your emotional life. You have to do the inside out work. It's the inside that matters the most. Then the next time that you go all out for whatever it is that you go all out for, whatever it is, it's an event, it's just something that you do some way that you show up for people in your life, you will feel true contentment and satisfaction. Not because somebody else shows or expresses the appreciation that you so richly deserve, but because you've given it to yourself. And that's the best kind of appreciation of all. Thanks for spending time with me today. And hey, if you were listening along and thinking, I don't want to miss this kind of encouragement and inspiration every week, then now's the time to hit follow so you never miss an episode. I'll see you next week.